What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Get a Grip Sports Football Channel. Today I am joined again by none other than the Sports Experience.
Hooray! I'm back.
Uh, Exciting week one, couple of upsets, crazy week one overall.
Oh yeah, it was. It just. I was just happy that football was back. Nothing.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we had Washington football team scoring a touchdown, which I was watching.
I didn't watch that. No, I didn't watch that. There were exciting, more exciting games going on in the Washington football team.
I really don't think so. Comeback was absolutely crazy.
I think that was more of a choke job than a comeback.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
Carson
So,
Wentz got sacked 8 times.
all right, what's your first game that you would like to review?
Well, I think we already saw this coming. The Texans versus the Chiefs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, go
of
Chiefs!
course.
Oh, that was. Yeah, I'll start off because I'm a Chiefs fan, but that was an amazing game to watch, minus the second drive by the Texans, because that made me realize that the Chiefs still have a bad defense and that we still don't like tackling. But other than that, it was an amazing game. I
Yeah,
love watching every second of it, except for the second drive by the Texans. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I'll tell you what, if we can be a running team, I doubt we can be stopped.
okay. Speaking of that second drive, David Johnson's touchdown, he probably still could have walked into that end zone and still scored. Like,
Oh, he could have walked in, because at the rate that the Chiefs were going, I doubt we could have tackled him.
yeah, if anything, y'all would have bumped him out of bounds.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, I was impressed with Clyde Edwards. I was not high on him coming into the draft. I thought there were three better running backs: Jonathan Taylor, J.K. Dobbins, and of course DeAndre Swift. But he's
Hmm.
proved me wrong.
Yeah, I would say so. He definitely proved me wrong. You know, him being a Chiefs rookie, I was obviously like, a little bit more optimistic than everyone else because he's a Chief. But I felt like because I watched a video right after the draft came out, and it was like a film analysis of him, and it made me realize that man, this kid, if he hasn't good coaching, which Andy Reid is, it could be an insane, insane career for him.
He absolutely could. What worries me is when his contract is up, he'll definitely want more money than his rookie contract.
Mhm.
And the Chiefs then will be paying Mahomes millions of dollars, Chris Jones millions of dollars, and Travis Kelce. So I think he might
I
leave
mean,
them.
My my main question for that game is the Texans defense just bad or is Clyde Edwards-Helaire just that good?
Yeah,
Because those are two very different things.
we'll have to see.
Hmm.
So for my first game, I did the Seahawks and the Falcons. Seahawks swept the floor with the
Yeah.
Falcons, but what people really, really did not care to say was Matt Ryan played
Dude,
absolutely
400
amazing.
yards.
Yeah, I think
Like 400 yards. He was insane.
he played absolutely out of his mind, but because he lost, he was kind of overshadowed. But I really, really want to emphasize Matt
Hmm.
Ryan played out of his mind.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just they couldn't finish at the goal line, and then their defense could not back them up.
Yeah, and they also on fourth downs four times and converted exactly 0 times.
Yeah, that's on Dan Quinn. That's play calling.
That's definitely on Darren Quinn. The receivers played great. Calvin Ridley had a breakout game. Julio Jones, of course, playing good. Todd Gurley played pretty
Julio,
good.
Julio had like 160 yards, but not a single touchdown.
Yeah, that just shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And then for
All right. So,
Seahawks side of the ball, I went with Russell Wilson, player of the game. He played on
yeah,
his mind
definitely.
too, and his O
Hmm.
line was not
Near
that
perfect
great.
game, right?
Um, maybe.
Was it?
I think
I
a perfect game.
think he missed like three passes, right?
Yeah,
Something like that.
two of them were thrown away, and the other was like a DK Metcalf drop.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He missed four passes.
Yeah. All right. What's your next game?
So I have the Jets and the Bills. And this was exactly what we all expected. The Bills manhandling the Jets. I mean, I don't think it was ever close. And Sam Darnold's stats got inflated on a screen pass where his receiver did all the work. And it made me realize the Jets are going to be the same old Jets. And especially you had Le'Veon Bell getting injured as well.
Yeah, I feel like Josh Allen had a really
And
good
now
game.
main running back is Frank Gore.
Oh yeah,
Then you've got a problem.
you got a real bad
Who
problem.
did?
I was impressed with Josh Allen. I had him as my fantasy quarterback. He did
Yeah.
me very well, and
I mean, he did have a couple fumbles,
he
which
did.
is a problem.
But none of them, only one of them were lost, I believe.
Yeah.
And
But
he had
yeah.
a career game, most passing yards of his career, which is kind of surprising.
I yeah, I thought that was surprising. I mean, it just shows how badly the Jets are missing Jamal Adams.
Yeah,
I yeah, getting rid of him. I think there are two sides of the coin for that argument. And one of them is like, oh, he doesn't catch interceptions. They should have gotten rid of him. And the other was, well, no, that's just not his style of play.
mm-hmm.
And I'm on the style of play one because I feel like he's insane. Like watching that Seahawks game that we just mentioned, he was crazy. He was good.
He was crazy good. He got a sack. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he has a chance to win a Super Bowl with that Seahawks team.
Mm-hmm. As long as they get O-line help.
Yes. For my next game, I went with the Packers and the Vikings. Coming into the game, I thought it was going to be a very good divisional matchup. But Aaron Rodgers is not washed up.
Oh no, definitely not. I feel like this is just him getting back at everyone else for drafting Jordan Love and him just saying, you know what, I'm just gonna throw to everyone.
Yeah, well, he didn't throw to everyone. He threw to Devontae Adams.
That's true. That's true.
Devontae
I mean,
Adams,
Marquez
like,
Valdez-Scantling got in there.
Alan Lazard.
Mm-hmm.
But Devontae Adams, again, he played out of his mind. The defense was on top of it.
Yeah. I mean, I remember, like, I wasn't able to watch that game, but I looked at the stat line afterwards and just not believing my eyes, seeing how Devontae Adams got like 160 yards, 2 touchdown receptions, 14 receptions. I mean, like, that's something that's supposed to happen like over 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, he played great. And honestly, I feel like Kirk Cousins on the other team played really well. He just had that really horribly thrown interception. Like he basically threw it
Yeah,
to Jair Alexander. He just had to
Jair Alexander.
rip it away from Adam
Mm-hmm.
Thielen. And then the defense for the uh, Vikings, they played really tight on Devontae Adams, but Devontae Adams just absolutely went off against them.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the box score for the Vikings, I didn't realize this, but they have a guy named Hercules Mataafa. That's an amazing name. How have I not heard of this guy? His name is Hercules Mataafa.
Yeah.
I feel
What's
like I
next?
should have heard of this guy before.
Seriously though, what's your next game?
All right. So for my next game, Chicago versus Detroit, the Bears versus the Lions, and that was such a bad win for the Bears because Mitchell Trubisky played awful the first 3 quarters, and then the Lions essentially just let him walk downfield his next 3 drives, and and then poor DeAndre Swift dropping the ball in the end zone. I felt so bad for him, but on the other hand, that's so Lions of him to drop the ball to choke the game in the last couple of seconds.
That's
It
such a
just
Lions
perfectly
move.
illustrates the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, Mitchell Trubisky is maybe the worst quarterback in the league. So
I wouldn't say that.
who's
I
the
wouldn't go
worst?
that far. Well, it depends on what we're saying. If we're saying we're starting quarterback,
Yeah, worst starting quarterback.
I'm not so sure about that. That might be. There are a lot of bad, okay, starting quarterbacks. He might be. I don't know. Ryan Fitzmagic might be down there.
Oh, Tua is definitely going to be starting next week.
I want to support him. Oh, yeah. I mean, I could say the same thing about Nick Foles. I feel like Nick Foles is on the cusp of coming back. I said it in my recap. I don't think Trubisky's going to last past 4 weeks,
Mm,
especially after watching that Lions game.
yeah, he played atrocious, and then Lions defense fell apart, and he got three
Hmm.
touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
Oh my gosh, yeah, yeah. My cousin's like a huge Bears fan, so he's like messaging me about the game, and I tried to tell him that it was not a very good win for the Bears, but all he said was scoreboard. So,
Yeah, that's such a Bears fan thing to say.
mm. And I said, "Where's your quarterback?" And then he stopped. He stopped talking to me.
He
But
blocked you.
yeah,
For my game, I did the Washington football team against the Philadelphia Eagles. What a
mm.
comeback!
Yeah. I don't know if that's a comeback. I think that's on the that's on the Eagles. I mean, if you're letting up 8 sacks and then not being able to stop the Washington football team's offense, I think that's where you realize, man, we must be very, very injured, or else this shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, the offensive line for the Eagles, horrendous. But I was impressed with their tight ends, Dallas Goddard and Zach Ertz.
Yeah, well, have you heard the drama about like Zach Ertz and how Adam, like something like Ian Rappaport said, oh, he's upset with their game plan. And then he came out and he said, no, I never said that. It's been going back and forth. It's entertaining to watch.
It's very fun to watch, but not good for the Eagles organization.
Oh, definitely not. Yeah.
Anyway, I was impressed with Dwayne Haskins. The defense played very well. 8 sacks, 9 sacks?
8 sacks, yeah.
8 sacks. Wow, they played good. Second half, they played
And
good.
I feel like the Eagles O line is good. Like if you look at it on paper, Jason Kelsey's amazing, but then we also have to remember Lane Johnson was inactive for this game with an injury, so that was probably a huge factor.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so for my next game, I had Miami versus New England. And the only reason I cared about this game really is because it was Cam Newton's first game as a New England Patriot. And I mean, like Bill Belichick, I think he's definitely trying to prove everyone wrong, and he's trying to say, look, we are actually very, very good without Brady. We don't need Brady. In fact, I'm going to bring in Cam Newton for only like $1. And that's what he did. He brought in Cam Newton, and he pretty much changed his entire scheme that he's had for 20 years. And he ran the ball 14 times with Cam Newton. Cam Newton scored on 2 of those rushes. It was a great game for Cam Newton, but I think it needs to scare the rest of the NFL because if the Patriots are going to be good this year, and if Cam Newton can keep this up, I think that the rest of the NFL has to be scared a little bit.
Yeah, I also feel like the Patriots game, Cam Newton's 2 touchdowns, show absolutely nothing because they played against the Dolphins.
Yeah, the Dolphins.
Just
I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick threw 3 picks.
and they didn't play Tua. What?
I know they didn't play Tua. I mean, after that 3rd pick, I feel like you just got to send in Tua. Just
Yeah.
say, you got this.
Just don't throw picks. Yep.
Yeah, it was just a bad game for him.
Mm-hmm. For my next game, I went with the Carolina Panthers with new head coach Matt Rule, who I love because I'm a Baylor fan, against
Yeah.
the Las Vegas Raiders. That just doesn't sound right. Oakland has a lot better ring to it.
I don't like it. It just feels weird
Yeah.
saying that.
So what I really liked from the Raiders, who ended up getting the victory, was Josh Jacobs, of course, played very well. Henry Ruggs impressed me in his debut. And safety Jonathan Abram was everywhere.
Yeah. Well, for that game, I thought it was a game where I thought it was going to be really bad. But then it was probably one of the better games of the entire week because Josh Jacobs and Christian McCaffrey were going back and forth, each one scoring a touchdown. And I think the Raiders need to thank their lucky stars that they have Josh Jacobs on that team. Because if Josh Jacobs was on their team, it would have been an awful game for them.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Josh Jacobs had a better game than Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be said. But I mean, the final play for the Panthers, I mean, you got Run CMC. You got a guy you just paid $16 million in the backfield, and instead you hand it off to your fullback. I
Yeah.
don't understand the coaching there.
I mean, that's like the exact opposite of the goal line Seattle versus New England.
Yeah, yeah, true.
So
All
I'm
right,
not.
so for my next game, I had the Colts versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Minshew Mania pulled through. That game I thought the Colts had it easy. The Minshew Mania came through, and it was so entertaining to follow the game kind of because it was a game that we all thought the Jaguars are tanking, 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 but then they somehow beat the Colts.
Yeah, I liked Philip Rivers in that game. He didn't really make too big of mistakes except for his two costly interceptions. That's just classic
Hmm.
Philip Rivers.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then I think Gardner Minshew knows that if he doesn't perform well and that the Jaguars get the first pick, he's gone. Trevor Lawrence is
Oh
starting,
yeah,
so I think he's gonna
yeah. I think
play.
that's what the organization's kind of trying to do. They're trying to get down to that first pick, get Trevor Lawrence, and get rid of Gardner Minshew.
But Gardner Minshew won't let it happen.
No, definitely not. The mustache will prevail.
Will prevail.
All right. What was your next game?
My next game was Joe Burrow's debut against Philip Rivers' former teams, the Los Angeles Chargers. I almost said San Diego there.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, the Chargers didn't play well. Joe Burrow did not play well. Nobody played well. It was not a very good game. That's it.
I thought Joe Burrow played decent for being a rookie and getting onto a 2-14 team. I thought he played decent enough,
That
especially because both teams were they had moving parts all over. I mean, you couldn't really expect a super good game out of that.
that interception where he just basically
That was bad.
where he flipped the ball, that kind of just like absolutely horrible. I can't say that the
That
Burrow played good because of that play.
Yeah, that's a rookie mistake, definitely, where he just flipped the ball right into that Chargers hand. It's just like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah. What's your next
All
game?
right, so for my next game, I had the blowout, Cleveland Browns versus Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
And I don't even really want to talk about this game. It was just so bad because the Ravens just ran them over completely, and it made me definitely scared as a Chiefs fan because we have to go up against them on week 3. It made me scared because seeing Lamar and his team return to dominance, and then I was also sad because I have Mark Ingram in a bunch of my fantasy leagues,
Yeah,
and I started him,
I
and
had
he got 2 points.
I got Mark Ingram too. I just dropped him for Benny Snell on the Steelers.
I know, I dropped him too. Like 2 points, man. You got and then it's on a team where they have good running backs. They got J.K. Dobbins, and then I forget. I think it was Justice Hill.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, but he should be the feature back. I don't understand why he isn't.
I mean,
But
J.K.
I've
Dobbins.
lost faith in him.
J.K. Dobbins does bring a passing game, a running back passing game to it, but
Hmm.
he's also a very elusive runner. Mark Ingram is a power back, so I see what the Ravens are doing there.
Yeah, I really like Mark Ingram. Have you seen his mic'd up segments? It's amazing. He's
Yeah.
hilarious, but
Yes.
he did not come through in fantasy, so he's cut.
Yeah, he's gone. For my next
What was your
game,
next game?
so I'm a bit of a Niners fan. This was a very huge disappointment. We lost to the freaking Cardinals.
I love that game because we played them in the Super Bowl. So I'm kind of rooting against the 49ers, and because the area I live, it's all 49ers fans. And so I love seeing them lose because I love seeing all the reactions around me when they lose. So it was a fun game for me.
Yeah, I live in the Denver area, so I'm used to people not like they don't even react when the Broncos lose anymore.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to talk about that game. That was a fun game.
Very fun game, especially for Goskowski.
Oh yeah. But the Cardinals and 49ers game, I'm interested to hear your take on this. Was that a 49ers loss or a Cardinals win?
I feel like it was definitely a mix of both. Kyler Murray came through. Jimmy G on paper, on stats like the box score, Jimmy G looked like he had the greatest game of his career, but he did
Jimmy G
not.
was off. I mean, he was missing wide open reads a couple of times in the end zone, and then on that last play where it was fourth down, he had to complete on an out route. He had his guy open, but he released the ball too late. Like if he released that ball a couple seconds earlier, you get the first down. But he didn't.
Yeah, he was just not playing good that game. His longest play was a screen pass to or no, a short pass to Raheem Mostert. Mostert did the work. Like
Yeah, he did all that.
so, I'm disappointed in the Niners. I knew that the Cardinals were an underrated team, and I'm excited to see what they can do.
Yeah, for the 49ers, like they're suffering from injuries. They lost Debo Samuel, they lost Brandon Ayuk, their rookie wide receiver. So that's two wide receivers gone. That means your starter is Kendrick Bourne, an undrafted player. And then they've lost Richard Sherman. He's on the IR and he's going to be gone for a couple weeks. That just came out today. And then George Kittle has like a sprained sprained ankle or something where Jimmy G threw the ball too high and he landed on it wrong. So that's a lot of injuries for a team that just went to the Super Bowl.
The good part about this is that my man Jalen Hurd from Baylor University will probably start next week.
He probably will. The way that things for the 49ers are going in terms of the injury bug, he's probably going to start.
Yeah. What's your next game?
So I had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. And that game, I mean, I think it's like a general popular opinion, unless you live in Boston, to not like Tom Brady. So I think pretty much every single person in the world was happy that he did not do well
Yeah,
against the Saints, throwing two interceptions, one a pick six.
and both of them were definitely his fault. On the one where he just overthrew the receiver, like by
Mm-hmm.
a lot, and then the one where he should have seen that cornerback coming up for the
Yeah, I think
six.
the story that came out after that was that there's a miscommunication that Mike Evans ran the wrong, like he made the wrong cut. He was supposed to cut outside instead of inside because it was cover one.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's gotta be patched up, and it's expected because he's a new quarterback.
Yeah, but still, I think everybody everywhere just took a relaxed sigh watching Tom Brady lose.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, I mean,
Drew Brees did not play good either. Drew Brees absolutely disappointed me.
Drew Brees. Sorry, you're cutting out on my end. I think it's my internet.
Yeah, Drew Brees disappointed me. He did not have a great game.
Yeah, he had a super good game. I think it's definitely like emblematic because like don't quarterbacks in Bruce Arians' system they always struggle, right? I at the very beginning they always throw a lot of picks. I think that happens with Jameis Winston
Hmm.
and happened with Carson Palmer too.
Yep. So yeah, after watching that, I'm a little nervous about my predictions, making the Bucks go 13-3.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So my next game was Sunday Night Football, the Cowboys and the Rams. That game, I hate the Cowboys.
That's right. You were so high in that predictions episode that we did. You were so high on the Cowboys hype. Cowboys going to the conference championship game, but oh no, they lost to the Rams.
I bet they still go to the conference championship.
No, I I mean losing to the Rams. I know week one kind of doesn't matter. It's all their preseason kind of, but still, it's the Rams. They
It's
can't pay anyone.
it was the play calling. I mean, the 4th and 3 decision where you could have tied it up. I'm not sure what Mike McCarthy was doing there.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about. I want to hear your opinion. Did you watch that offensive pass interference call at the very end of the game?
Yeah, I mean,
What's your opinion on that? Was that
J-
a pass interference?
Jalen Ramsey is a great actor.
I know. Yeah.
I'll I'll give
But
him
do you
that.
think it was interference?
No, it was not. It was like,
Yeah, I'm under the firm belief that that was a bad call. And if not for Jalen Ramsey acting like he had been shot, I think that's not called.
yeah. I mean, the Rams get away with pass interference. I mean, against the Saints, that
Yeah.
that's a tough one for Saints fans.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So,
All
what's
right,
your last
so
game?
my last game, it was a really fun one to watch. And I enjoyed it, even though it started at 7 o'clock Pacific time and then 10 o'clock Eastern time. I don't know what Monday Night Football's doing. It was Tennessee versus the Broncos. It was really fun to watch. It was a defensive battle all the way through.
I want to hear your take. Do you think the Titans should cut Goskowski after missing 3 field
Uh,
goals?
see, for me, I don't think they should cut him just yet because I hear everyone's thoughts like they should cut him, they should cut him, they should cut him. But one, I'm looking at all the available kickers. Like there are pretty much no available kickers.
Oh,
And then two,
the Browns just cut their
I mean
kicker.
Austin. I remember reading somewhere that somebody put out a waiver claim for him. So I don't know if he's going to be available for them. But I think like he might have just had one fluke bad game, and especially because he's a veteran, he's a Super Bowl champion. So I think you give him at least a couple more games to see if that was a fluke or not.
Yeah, and even if he doesn't pan out, just pick up an undrafted rookie. Anything's better than what that performance was last night or
Yeah, it was
Monday.
just rough. Yeah, it was hard to watch and I felt happy for him when he kicked that field goal through because I didn't want him to have to go through that because then I think he would have been cut. He misses that chip shot, which I feel like anybody could have made at that point. Any player past high school could have made that kick.
Maybe even in high school.
Probably. Yeah. But Jerry Jeudy had a couple of crucial drops that kind of derailed the entire game.
Yeah.
Not entire game, sorry. Not entire game, but they were bad. And Drew Lock overthrew some people where, yeah, it was just, they made a couple of key mistakes. And then Vic Fangio, what are you doing? Didn't call a single timeout in that final quarter.
Yeah, like, that's just not okay. Broncos have had coaching problems ever since Kubiak left.
I mean, he made Andy Reid look good in his clock management skills. I mean, it's just, it was bad.
It was horrible.
And then, the Broncos did an okay job at containing Derrick Henry. It's just the bummer is Derrick Henry's going to wear you down, and that's how he went for like 113 yards. He's just going to wear you down.
Yeah. So, my last game, I loved this one. This one was very, very fun to watch. Steelers versus Giants. I'm gonna
Yeah,
use your thing. Danny Dimes turned into Danny Pennies. I love it.
yes. Yeah, I came with that title almost seconds before having to, like, I had finished the entire video. I had no idea what to title it. And then I finally was just like, well, his nickname is Danny Dimes, but he wasn't that good, so he's Danny Pennies now. But
I feel like the Steelers prove that they have the best defense in the league. Like you said, the Broncos. No. You said the Niners,
I don't know.
maybe even. No. Steelers have the best defense in the league.
Okay. I think that was just a bad game for the Giants. I think Ben Roethlisberger could have been at half strength, missing an arm, and they still would have won that
The
game.
Steelers held Saquon Barkley, Mr. Saquon Barkley,
you want
to
to know?
under
Here,
20 yards.
Let me get out in front of this. So one, he made most yards in receiving game where he got like 60 yards in the receiving game where he hurdled 2 defenders. But then that is on the Giants O-line because there is no way that any defense can hold Saquon under 20 yards without there being some underlying issue with that offense. That's on the Giants' offensive line.
Issue is that they can't handle the Steelers' defense because they have the best defense in the league.
No, I'm under the firm belief that was all in the Giants. Sure, the Steelers have a great defense.
What's the best defense? Who do you think has the best defense?
The Denver Broncos.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna stick to that until the Broncos play the Steelers, which is like next week.
Yeah, this Sunday.
Then we'll see. But for now,
They
I'm
don't have.
calling the Broncos a better defense.
They could definitely compete against the Steelers defense, not compete against the Steelers defense. But Von Miller being out, no.
All right,
Don't
here.
don't even tell me
Let's
that
make
the
a bet.
Broncos without Von Miller are better.
Let's make a bet. All right here. If the Broncos beat the Steelers, that means technically their defense held them to less points. So if the Broncos beat the Steelers, on next week when we do this recap again, you will say that the Broncos are the best defense.
All right,
But if the Steelers beat the Broncos,
then you have
then
to
I will
say
come
that the
on this,
Steelers are better than
and
the
then I will
Chiefs.
say that the Steelers are the best defense, and I'll admit that I was wrong. I'm willing to make that bet. Are you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm so confident that I will say that the Chiefs are the best team ever.
Oh, do you even really need to? I mean, that's already an
Oh wow.
obvious opinion. That's clear already.
Wow.
Yeah, I blame that all on the offensive line and Daniel Jones making boneheaded decisions. But yeah, I don't know. It will be interesting to see. I'm pulling for the Broncos now.
Yeah.
I'll be watching that game.
I mean, I also want to talk about how Big Ben played horrible first half, second half came alive. That's the Big Ben that I know. We're back, baby. We're back.
Yeah, first half Big Ben was a combination of, I mean, the dude hadn't played in an entire year. And the other part was trying to get used to the offense and everything. 'Cause he's got a young wide receiver core. And then you lost James Conner. So I'm sorry about that. I don't know. I feel bad for him. He's been injured for a while now.
Yeah. James Conner, I think this is a contract year for him. I think he's gone after this year.
Yeah. I mean, unless he has like a breakout year.
Yeah. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Get a Grip Sports Football Show. Today we are doing the NFL Week 2 recap, and I am joined yet again by none other than the Sports Experience.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I mean, I love doing this segment. It's been great so far. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, my predictions took a hit this week, but
yes.
Yeah, other than that.
So I'll let you start it off. What's your first game?
Well, obviously, Chiefs versus Chargers. An amazing game where the Chiefs shot themselves in the foot over and over and over again, but Harrison Butker is the best player in the league, or the best kicker in the league, and that's how we won. I mean, the Chargers almost ran us over with Austin Eckler.
I'm a Steelers fan, and even I would say Justin Tucker's the best kicker in the league.
See, no, but did Justin Tucker drill 3 straight 50-plus yard kicks, 2 straight 58-yard kicks?
Has Justin Tucker ever needed to?
I'm just saying. He did do that. But yeah, it definitely exposed a lot of problems with the Chiefs. Like, our defense looks pretty bad. I mean, it didn't look like we'll be able to stop the run this year, ever. And I think the Chargers are laid out kind of like a blueprint on how to beat the Chiefs. You just run the ball, keep the ball away from Patrick Mahomes, and just keep the ball away from Mahomes and apply pressure to Mahomes, because that's what the Chargers were doing the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, that is smart. Mahomes really did not play that good.
I mean, he was pressured on 2/3 of his throws.
He should still be playing like that. I mean, he's won an MVP.
Yeah, I mean, he had 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. And came on, all those points came on when they were coming back. But yeah, it was just the offensive line did not do so hot. Mitchell Schwartz could not handle Jay Bosa.
Yeah, the O-line really did not play good. Tyreek Hill played as good as usual.
Yeah, and I mean, the offensive line, the issue is we'd have a great play and get down to the 10-yard line, and then holding penalty, and then even on Harrison Butker's amazing kick, it was offsides. Sorry, do it again. And it's how many penalties are we gonna have?
Yeah, I was really hoping that he missed that because I don't like the Chiefs.
Yeah, well, it was going through my mind. It's there's no way he can make this, right? Because there's no way anybody can hit 3 straight 50-plus yard kicks. But then I went insane when he made it. That was amazing.
It was. I'll admit that was pretty exciting.
Hmm. So you admit it. Harrison Butker, the best kicker in the league. Are we willing to say this?
No.
Okay, then. I'll get you to say it eventually.
Okay, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
My first game.
All right, what is your game?
I'm gonna start it off with the game of the week: Falcons and Cowboys. My predictions, man, took a hit last week, but Cowboys are proving me right this week.
Yeah. I mean, the Falcons got a lead when they had no business getting a lead. The Cowboys gave them they fumbled the ball 4 times in the first quarter.
First half, they 3 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I was
They were giving the game to the Falcons. But Dan Quinn, I mean, he's supposed to be a defensive coach. His defense has repeatedly just been awful.
Yeah, I mean, Dak Prescott, he didn't play a very pretty game. Ezekiel Elliott played an absolutely atrocious game,
Yeah.
and they still won because the Falcons don't know the rules of onside kicks.
Oh yeah, they just watched it. They just watched it trickle by, and
They were all, okay, it's not 10 yards, we can't touch it yet. But you can't, that's the point.
Yeah, it was weird. It's like nobody's ever explained to them, oh, they can't touch it until it gets past 10 yards, but you're free to go at it. I mean, were they confused that Greg Zuerlein didn't use a kicking tee? Were they confused by that? And they're just like, well, he's giving us a chance. Let's just give him a chance.
Yeah, I don't know. That was horrible special team. Whoever that special teams coach is, fire him.
He's got to be. Mm-hmm.
You need to fire him.
Or just put an emphasis on practice. I guarantee, every single guy in that, we all saw the picture of the 4 Falcons players looking down on the ball. I guarantee every single one of those guys were chewed out on Monday.
Absolutely, that must have been a very uncomfortable team meeting.
Yeah. Dak had an injury scare. I noticed he went in the blue tent for a little bit. Put in Andy Dalton.
Man, I hate Andy Dalton.
Why?
Because I'm a Steelers fan.
You have no reason to hate. I feel haven't you beaten them every single time?
Yeah, we've never lost him, but I don't like the Bengals. After that Vontae's perfect hit on Antonio Brown.
Oh my gosh. You think that was the moment that Antonio Brown really went downhill? That Vontae's perfect just absolutely exploded in his brain, and that's how he went crazy?
Yeah. Antonio Brown is still my favorite NFL player, and he's still the best wide receiver in the league.
Well, he's not in the league.
Why? That's played football before and still alive.
I'm just saying, he's your favorite player after all that's happened.
Yes.
All right, that's fair enough.
Usually I say Saquon Barkley, but he's on the Giants.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
And he's gone for the season. I'll get into that.
Yeah.
I mean, can we talk about how there are so many injuries?
So many injuries.
This felt like it was coming in droves. They were just dropping on flies. I kept getting ESPN notifications so and so out for the game. McCaffrey, and they're not the scrub players that we always see. It was Saquon Barkley out for the season. McCaffrey out for 4 weeks.
Drew Lock out 3 to 6 weeks.
I know, right? And then there were even more. There's Cortland Sutton out for the season. Paris Campbell out for a lot of the time. There was just Jimmy Garoppolo, high ankle sprain. The entire 49ers team, I think, was decimated.
Yeah, Nick
we'll talk about their injuries.
Out for the season. Richard Sherman out for the season.
I didn't know Richard Sherman was. I thought he was only out for a couple games.
Yeah, it's basically out for the season. Yeah. They probably won't put him back in, but they still could. I mean, they have a stacked secondary.
Yeah, I know Nick Bosa, Solomon Thomas, then Raheem Mostert, and both their running backs, Raheem Mostert, Tevin Coleman, are going to be out for a couple weeks. Jimmy G is probably going to be out for next week, so they'll have to put in Nick Mullins.
Nick Mullins is back.
I mean, George Kittle will probably be back, so that's a positive. Yeah. But then, Deebo Samuel's still out. I don't know if Brandon Ayuk is back or not, but I know he was out. It's just, that team, I don't know if they can get back to the Super Bowl after all the injuries that they've had.
I mean, I bet they don't even win their division. They might even come in third in their division the way Cardinals are playing.
And the way the Seahawks are playing. Seahawks
are winning the division.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
So, what's your next game?
My next game, I had the Giants versus the Bears. Yeah, another game where Saquon Barkley got injured, I think, pretty early on. I didn't see, what time in the game, but he got injured. But he got injured pretty early on, I think, because he didn't have that many yards after. But this is coming after a game that Saquon, he got outrushed by Big Ben. Big Ben had more rushing yards than him, so
Daniel
he's trying to.
Jones had more rushing yards than him.
I know, but so he's trying to come off that, but then boom, out for the season with an ACL tear. It's just a bummer. And then Daniel Jones didn't seem to really be able to get anything going. Like that was a big reason why they couldn't win at that final drive. Couldn't get any momentum going. And in the first half, Mitchell Trubisky looked awful. In the second half, he looked a little bit better, but still awful. I mean, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. He didn't have an amazing game. It was David Montgomery all the way. He carried that team.
Mitchell Trubisky's the worst starting quarterback in the league right now. You can't change my mind.
I don't know about that. I feel like we've had this conversation before, but I think Ryan Fitzpatrick
balls
is the,
out this week.
yeah, but he just declared war on Minshew, so I can't like him at all. I can't believe you would do that.
That's just, come on, man. Don't disrespect Minshew.
Don't disrespect the beard.
Minshew's the MVP, no doubt about it.
And no doubt about it. But, there's Tyrod Taylor, although he just had a collapsed lung, so I can't really blame him. Did you hear about that?
Yeah,
how his team doctor shot him right in the lung?
Doctor was probably working for the Chiefs, and he did the Chiefs something bad.
Technically it hurt us more because our entire game plan was to Tyrod Taylor. But, I've heard that's pretty, routine. For that kind of shot, for, painkiller shot. I heard that could happen. It's, something that could. But, man, right in the lung.
Man, they need to start Justin Herbert. I don't know why they said that they're going to keep on going with Tyrod Taylor.
Well, I think here's the reason why. Because if you think about it from Tyrod Taylor's point of view, that must really stink, right?
Yeah,
to say, by the way, while you're recovering from when we shot you right in the lung, you just lost your starting job to this rookie.
Yeah, but that's how the game is played. You lose.
I don't know. I think that's them. I think that's the Chargers trying to cover for the fact that they just almost murdered their quarterback. It's all right, we're gonna give him a starting game. He'll probably be gone by week 4. But yeah, I think they just need to give him one more chance, especially because they almost killed him.
Yeah. My next game, Bills versus Dolphins.
Jeez.
The quarterbacks played absolutely out of their mind this week. Josh Allen throwing for 417 yards, career high.
Josh Allen looks good. Josh Allen
could be an MVP contender this year.
I wouldn't go that far. He looked good, but it's not good that far.
He's the MVP of my fantasy team.
Okay. That's fair enough. Stephon Diggs did amazing. He had 150 yards?
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, I believe. Absolutely crazy this year. Josh Allen looks like he was just floating balls up there, and they were just going perfectly into. Yeah. He's great deep. He has great deep throw accuracy.
Yeah. Well, if you remember last year, he was awful at any type of accuracy, really, and especially struggled with the deep ball. But now it seems like he's gotten really good at it. He throws it really well.
Yeah, he just lofts it up there, and it's perfectly right in stride with the wide receiver.
Yeah, and then Fitzpatrick didn't have half a bad game. He had 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Didn't have that bad a game.
He had a crazy good game, man. Fitzpatrick for MVP.
Yeah. I just can't support him for going after the mustache.
Wow, so that I would, is Minshew your favorite player? Wait, no, but
yeah, that's true. I've got a host of favorite players. I root for a lot of players, but most of them would probably be on the Chiefs. I think, but Mahomes is always going to be my favorite, no matter what.
What if he gets traded to the Saints and wins a Super Bowl with the Saints over the Chiefs?
Then I would like him a little bit less, but he would still be my favorite. Then Minshew's probably second. I think third. I don't know who. There are a lot of players like Christian McCaffrey. I like watching him play. Drew Lock, for some reason, I really like watching him, even though he can't throw it really that good deep. I like watching him play.
He doesn't have good accuracy, and he looks like a teenager.
I know he's got the baby face. He looks like he could be going to my school.
Yeah. What's your next game?
So for my next game, I've got the 49ers versus the Jets, where the 49ers' entire roster, they're pretty much just put out their JV team, but they still destroy the Jets.
Jets are literally tanking the Raheem Mostert 80-yard touchdown. They kind of just
Oh,
walked
first
over
play of the
to him.
game! First play of the
They
game!
kind of just walked over to him and said, here's a fast pass.
Oh yeah, they just pitched it to him, and then he just ran. He just outran them.
The Jets defense, horrible. Sam Darnold needs to be replaced. They don't really have a really actually good running back.
You know who needs to be replaced is Adam Gase. I heard
Thank
their
you.
entire movement online is fire Adam Gase, and I can't say I disagree with it.
I mean, he's horrible at play calling, and that's the only job a coach has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and hold on, I think you just said that they don't really have a good running back. They have Frank Gore, the ageless wonder of the world.
Okay, hold up. Yeah, you make a good point there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's the MVP.
I mean, of the entire league, really. The fact that he still is able to keep going after what? He's been in the league for so long.
I really loved him when he played with the Niners. Those were the best years.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I mean, the 49ers just got absolutely decimated by injuries.
Yeah, and that really sucks because I'm a Niners fan.
Yeah, I don't know about their chances now. Just really might have tanked.
Nick Mullins for MVP. For my next game, I have the Lions and the Packers. Lions came out on fire, and then they did the Lion leap at Lambeau, and Packers did not like that, and Rodgers didn't have a actually really good game.
What are you talking about?
He did
an amazing game.
Not from my standards for Aaron Rodgers.
All right, okay, you must have been watching a different game then. I thought he had a great game, and then Aaron Jones took that team and just put them on his back.
Aaron Jones is the reason they won. If they could have had Nick Mullins for quarterback, and they still would have won.
I tell you what, Aaron Rodgers looks like he's throwing the ball better than he's ever thrown it. I'll give him that.
I would not say that.
I don't know, but he looks like he's throwing the ball better than he's ever thrown. I mean, he didn't really have to do a lot this game because Aaron Jones carried the team.
The year they beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl, worst NFL year ever. That was the year he played his absolute best.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, the Lions, they pulled the Lions. They just didn't. I guess they didn't want to stop Aaron Jones.
Stafford pulled a Stafford, puts up amazing stats, but doesn't win the game.
Yeah. I mean, all right.
My
next game is the Minshew Mania Jaguars versus the Titans. I mean, Minshew Mania almost won that game. I was following along on ESPN because it wasn't televised where I was, but I was following along, and I saw the Titans go up by 14. And at that point, I was like, well, there's no way. But then I remembered who was throwing the ball for the Jaguars. And then Minshew Mania led the team back, but then tip pass, interception, end of the game, which I felt bad about. But, I mean, the Jaguars, could they not be tanking?
Gardner Minshew doesn't want them to tank.
That's true.
Pretty much his NFL career.
I know. I mean, Gardner Minshew has single-handedly probably kept them in games. And now, I was hearing a bunch of people talk about how their kicker might be one of their better players. Well, now he's on IR. So, as if week 2 couldn't get worse, he's on IR now. So,
man, what are the Jaguars going to do?
They're not going to do anything. They're just... They're
going to go for 2, and they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good game. I think people are giving Ryan Tannehill more credit than he deserved for that game. Because, essentially, the Jaguars just handed them the win. Because it's the Jaguars.
It's the Jaguars. Honestly, that's embarrassing for the Titans. The Jaguars essentially traded away their entire defense, and they still only won by 3.
Yeah, I mean, Steven Gronkowski.
Yeah, man. Oof.
He bounced back. He
did. My next game is the Vikings and the Colts. Both quarterbacks played atrocious. Kirk Cousins
Jeez.
didn't even have
Kirk
100
Cousins
yards
looked like
passing.
primetime Kirk.
Kirk Cousins threw 3 interceptions and only threw for 67 yards.
No, he threw for 113
Oh,
yards.
yeah, sorry. That was just in like the first half or something. Sorry.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think he had like a 0 passer rating, something along those lines. I think he had 0. I mean, I know a lot of people like they'll make fun of him calling him primetime Kirk, but I mean, are they wrong? I don't think they're wrong after this game.
This was Kirk Cousins. I don't know why he is that big of a contract. I don't know why he's
Yeah.
playing this bad.
I mean, yeah.
And Jonathan Taylor, the rookie running back for the Colts, I was impressed with him. I like
He looks
his
really
future.
good.
Yeah, he could be better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
No, not happening. That's not possible.
Did you see him in week 2? Did you see Clyde? That was not as good as his debut.
Clyde, here's what happened. So Andy Reid planned that he wouldn't be good on the ground, so he sent him on all passing routes, and he did pretty good in the passing game. And I think we're gonna find out new things about Clyde Edwards-Helaire every single week. Last week we found out that he is the best running back in the league after Saquon Barkley. After Saquon and McCaffrey got injured.
And
Okay,
Dalvin
after they
Cook
got injured,
and Derrick Henry.
no, they don't. They don't matter in this situation.
They're better. Don't deny.
Okay, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, we found out that he is the best running back in the league. Now we found out that he is the best receiving back in the league after McCaffrey, but McCaffrey's injured. So now we're realizing that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the best running back in the entire NFL.
Benny Snell's the best running back in the NFL.
Oh, yeah, what did he do? Let me check his stat line. I forgot exactly what he did.
Look at the stat line from last week.
I mean he had an amazing what was it? It wasn't a very good game, I don't think, for Benny Snell. I mean he did have an amazing 5 yards and 3 carries.
Better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I guarantee it was more than 5 yards.
I think I would go along with that. I bet he had more than 5 yards too.
Yeah, let me see. Hold on. Clyde had he had 38 yards. That's more than 5.
That's disappointing. Coming off.
What are you talking about?
Last week, I was like, he should be rushing for 100 yards per game.
Per game? Whoa!
Yeah, he should.
That almost never happens.
He should be.
I don't think McCaffrey does that. Did he? Yeah,
McCaffrey's more of a receiving back.
Yeah, true. I mean, he can do it both. Is it your game or my game? I forgot.
I think I just did the Vikings and Colts.
Yeah. All right. I'll go. This was a great game. The Patriots versus the Seahawks.
Oh yeah, Sunday Night Football.
Russell Wilson played out his mind. 5 touchdown passes to 5 different wide receivers. I can tell by your silence that you're stunned.
I don't like the Seahawks or the Patriots. It's going to take a while for me to like the Patriots again. Tom Brady ruined them.
Yeah, I'm slowly warming up to them. I mean, did you see his Bill Belichick's press conference? He was like wearing that tattered hoodie.
That was good. That made my heart feel whole.
I mean, Julian Edelman. Do you see Julian Edelman? I'll give you one guess on how many receiving yards he had. You're not allowed to look it up, by the way.
82.
179.
That's more than 82.
Yeah, I had no idea he'd gotten that many. I think that's his best game that he's ever played in his career. I think that's the most receiving yards he's had.
He played pretty good in the Super Bowl against the Rams, but I don't think he had that many yards.
No, yeah, that was a dull Super Bowl.
That was the worst Super Bowl except for the 2 Super Bowl losses the Steelers have ever.
I mean, here, if we're gonna flash back to that far, do you think the Immaculate Reception was a catch?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Hey, they were playing the Raiders. Was it a catch?
Yes, it was a catch.
Yeah.
It was definitely a catch.
There it is.
Especially against the Raiders. I mean, DK Metcalf absolutely burned Stephon Gilmore.
Oh, yeah, I knew DK Metcalf was going to be big this year.
Okay, I did not think he'd be big this year. I thought he was going to be okay.
I drafted him in fantasy because I thought he was going to have a breakout year.
I drafted him in fantasy, but only because there's no good wide receivers left, and I stuck him on my bench. But now I'm regretting that.
I'm putting DK Metcalf over AJ Brown.
Yeah, I'd say that is true. I'd say that's true.
I would also put him in the same tier as Tyreek Hill.
I'm leaving.
No.
I'm leaving. That's not that. How can you possibly say that? I'm slowly dying over here right now over this call. I'm slowly dying. I think you might have taken my soul out.
Hey, don't forget when we break up the Steelers game.
Okay, I don't want to bring that up.
All right, next up, I have Saints and Raiders on Monday Night Football.
Jeez.
The play of the game was the Monday Night Football cart knocking out Jonathan Abram. That was
the
biggest
I felt
hit of
so
the week.
bad for him.
That's going to be on his resume for the rest of his NFL career.
Yeah, I mean, jeez, it looked like he slammed into that cart. Can I read you? I'm going to read you a stat. Ready? This is a direct quote. Drew Brees is 100% accurate on deep throws this year. Drew Brees has thrown one deep pass this year.
Well, I guess that is true. He's gotten 100% accuracy.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean,
it's because Michael Thomas was injured.
Yeah, I mean, but still, like, to not throw a single deep ball after that, that's got to be a testament to. I see a lot of people saying like, "Oh, he's aging. His arm's slowly going out." I think it's a little too quick to say that, but I do agree. I think he might be slowly playing like his age.
I mean, if the Saints do good, this could potentially be his last year.
Well, I saw like he signed a contract to like do broadcasting after he retired, like the next Tony Romo, I guess.
Tony Romo. Whew.
He gets paid more than some of the players.
He gets paid more.
We're talking about football.
Nathan Peterman gets paid more than Cam Newton.
I know. I saw that, and I was like, what?
Makes sense, because Nathan Peterman is the GOAT.
He is. I mean, next to Gardner Minshew. But
I put him above Patrick Mahomes any day.
All right. Let's not get too far. All right, let's talk about the Ravens versus the Texans.
No.
That was a bad game. I'm going to gloss over that because that was just a bad game for the Texans. And it really showed that they should not have traded away DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins. I'll talk about him soon, but
yeah, just a bad game. The Ravens. I'm kind of getting scared of the Ravens defense. Like, I'm really hyped up for the Monday night game where we play the Ravens, but like I'm scared by the Ravens because they've got a great offense and now they've got a great defense, I guess.
Who do you think will win that Monday night game and the score?
See, as much as I'm a huge homer for the Chiefs, I'm gonna have to go with the Ravens.
Whoa!
It's so hard predicting the Ravens, but I think it's gonna be a close game. Here's what the score is gonna be. It's gonna be 42-35.
Whoa, that's high scoring.
It's gonna be high scoring. I don't think because the only reason I say the Ravens win is because I don't think our defense can possibly stop Lamar.
Yep.
Or like they've got 3 running backs. They've got Gus Edwards, Mark Ingram, and J.K. Dobbins.
Gus Edwards.
How's our defense gonna stop that?
Gus Edwards is not in the same tier as any of those guys you just mentioned.
I know, but I think he rushed for like 100 yards this game
against the Texans.
He rushed for 73 yards. He was their leading rusher. But like even that's a 3-headed monster right there, and we couldn't even stop Austin Eckler. We couldn't stop one Austin Eckler. So
say that again. Say that sentence again.
I know. We couldn't stop Austin Eckler. How are we going to stop Lamar Jackson? How are we going to stop Mark Ingram? How are we going to stop J.K. Dobbins? How are we going to stop Gus Edwards? We can't.
I think that, as much as it pains me to say this, because this is probably the best game of the year, and I do not like either of these teams whatsoever.
It'll be a great game, I can promise that.
It's going to be 27-24 Ravens.
27-24. I could see that. I could definitely see that.
So for my next game, I got the Panthers and the Buccaneers. Teddy Bridgewater.
Tom Brady.
Teddy Bridgewater did not play good. Brett Favre in the stands played better than Teddy Bridgewater.
I saw that. Brett Favre had like a truly horrifying Tom Brady like Buccaneer shirt.
That was the scariest shirt.
That scared me.
It
That put fear into my heart when I saw that.
I don't personally like Brett Favre.
Yeah, I like him just because he is like that. Like he's just he's gonna throw it, and he doesn't care if you're gonna intercept it. He's just always gonna throw,
So he's basically how
in
Kobe
more ways than
Bryant.
one.
He's basically how Kobe Bryant shoots no matter what. He's like passing no matter what.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I saw like a couple of the Buccaneers players were a little bit mad because apparently they weren't allowed to bring their families into the stands, and so one player was like, "Well, Brett Favre's allowed to be in the stands, but my family can't be."
Brett Favre's family.
Not for Tom Brady. They probably have the two most different playing styles I've ever seen.
Brett Favre and Tom Brady different. They're both packet
Yeah.
passers.
Have you seen? I mean, Brett Favre, he takes almost every chance to risk it, but then Tom Brady's just like, yeah, I'll take that open slant. But Brett
Is
Favre's
that a
like, no, I'm
slant?
gonna take that contested
Third
post.
18, Tom Brady's throwing a slant
Yes.
to a seventh round pick.
Yeah, Brett Favre was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw it deep no matter what.
Is that our third string wide receiver going deep? Yeah, he's getting the ball this play.
Yeah.
He might not get the ball, but the ball's going in his direction.
Yeah, the Tom Brady slander will never stop.
For my next game, I have the Washington football team. I almost said the other one. And the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray.
The Arizona Cardinals look scary because Kyler Murray looks amazing on that quarterback draw.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I would put him next to Lamar Jackson.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. Like, he's close. He's very close.
I would say he's a better passer than Lamar Jackson.
I don't know. Lamar looks like he can throw. He can throw.
He can throw, yeah. I mean, they're quarterbacks in the NFL. Of course they can throw.
Okay. I meant like he can throw it pretty well.
They're quarterbacks in the NFL. Of course
he
they can
throws
throw
bullets on occasion.
They're quarterbacks in the NFL.
I'm just saying. I mean, like, Kyler Murray scares me because he doesn't look like he should be able to throw like really well, but he does.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're giving him cleats that make him 2 inches taller.
Yeah, I might be.
DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins, jeez. Yeah.
He's just DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, I can't believe the Texans traded him.
But the wide receiver I've been impressed by so much this year, Antonio Brown.
Oh, the fact that he can't find a team?
Yep.
Yeah.
DK Metcalf has definitely been my favorite wide receiver to watch this year.
I like watching Tyreek Hill across the end zone.
Wow.
That's what I like to watch. Let's start with the Bengals versus the Browns.
Can we not?
Thursday Night Football.
Can we just not?
I mean, the Browns won.
The Browns won. Joe Burrow passed over 60 times.
61 times. 61 times. I mean, like, can you get more aggressive than that? Like, I think it was a major tone setter, definitely.
And they have Joe Mixon at running back, who they just signed to a big contract.
People keep saying like Joe Mixon, he's great, underrated. I mean, that could be true, but I haven't seen anything that
because they aren't giving him any opportunities.
He got 16 carries.
16 carries.
He got 16.
Wow.
Do something. And he had 2.9 yards every single run. 2.9.
So basically 3.
Okay, sure. He had 3 yards a carry. Is that an elite running back? Is that an elite running back? Or are we talking about an okay running back?
We're talking about a running back who's better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
That's wrong! No! You're killing me!
All right. Did you do all your games?
No, I got the Rams versus the Eagles. We'll gloss over this quickly because this was pretty much, that's exactly how the game went. The Rams dominated the game. Eagles looked like they couldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's it.
We'll leave it at that.
Here we go. The moment I have been waiting for. The Steelers versus the Broncos. Is there anything you would like to say?
Yeah, I guess so. So, a week ago, although, isn't this coming out as the same, like, episode? Like, the same episode, right?
Yeah.
It's coming out in the same...
Yeah.
Yeah. So, a week ago, before this was recorded. I said that the Broncos had the better defense in the NFL. They're better than the Steelers, and I made a bet
Hey, you
that if
also
the
said that the Broncos without Von Miller.
yeah, okay, I made a bet, and I said if the Broncos beat the Steelers, I will come on. He will come on and say that the Steelers have the worst defense. But if the Steelers beat the Broncos, I would come on and say that the Steelers had the better defense, and the Broncos lost. So officially, I am the sports experience, and I will say that the Steelers have the better defense, and they are the best defense in the NFL.
Yes.
You happy? Okay.
Yes, I'm very happy.
All right. That hurt coming out. I felt something in my chest dying slowly.
I will be posting an article on my website
Jeez.
later today, and it's the top 10 offenses and defenses. Let's just say that the Broncos don't make the top 10.
The top 10? You must be crazy if they don't make the. Who is better? Who has a better defense?
The Niners, even with Nick Bosa injured.
The Niners, even though their entire defensive line is gone, even though
Javon Kinlaw's still
their entire cornerback crew is gone.
Jimmy Ward's still there.
Jimmy Ward. I forgot about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, how is he going to stop everybody who plays against them?
By playing like a good defensive back.
All right. Time will tell. Who else? Who are the 9 other teams? Okay, that's fair.
The Bills.
Fair.
I'm drawing a blank.
I see that you're struggling to come out with a better team than the Broncos.
No, I mean, lots of teams are better than the Broncos.
Maybe one. Let's hear one good defense better than the Broncos. A defense better than the Broncos.
The Steelers.
Name another. You've named 3.
Okay, let me try to find it. I'm on a different computer.
See.
The Saints, the New Orleans Saints.
They have no secondary. They just got torched by Derek Carr.
Marshawn Lattimore.
They got torched by Derek Carr.
Marshawn Lattimore.
Would you like any more? They got torched by Derek Carr.
But Marshawn Lattimore is still there.
But did Marshawn Lattimore cover anyone?
No.
Exactly. All right, we'll move on. I mean, the Broncos' entire team was decimated by injuries, so that's my defense.
But you said even with those injuries.
I said that even with Von Miller's injury. I said nothing about Drew Lock going out in the middle of the first
Jeff
quarter.
Driscoll played better than Drew Lock would have.
Your Steelers defense almost lost.
They balled out, man. It was the Steelers offense that almost messed up the game.
Your Steelers defense you almost lost to Jeff Driscoll and no Cortland Sutton, and I mean you almost lost to that. No Philip Lindsay.
Okay, Philip Lindsay wasn't even starting.
Yeah, I mean he could have been.
No, Melvin Gordon would be starting no matter what.
He could have been. We don't know.
Well, we probably should wrap this episode up.
Yeah, this is probably gonna combined with the other episodes, it's probably gonna be around 30 to 40 minutes, right?
This alone is 37 minutes.
Oh, jeez.
So, hour and a half.
Nice. You might want to break that up into 2 parts.
Yeah, I think I'll just do
one come out
separate videos.
Yeah, that'll probably be a good idea.
Okay. Anyway, to the viewers, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and that part out too. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.